Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mir Wazir and this is your 12:45 News Bulletin. The fight against the coronavirus is being stepped this lunchtime. The government is holding an emergency COBRA meeting to discuss the spread of the virus and how to try to slow it down. An announcement as to what we will have to do next is expected this afternoon. Meanwhile, the latest case confirmed in our region is linked to a care home in Basingstoke, where the resident has tested positive for COVID-19. Our correspondent Annabel Mali has the latest on the cases and suspected cases in our area.
A Southampton student has been advised to self-isolate as they have been in contact with someone who has recently tested positive for coronavirus. The university is said to be supporting the student whilst they remain in their accommodation at Deanery Halls of Residence. The high dependency unit at Southampton General Hospital could remain in lockdown for 10 days after a healthcare professional who worked one shift there tested positive for the virus. Meanwhile, some shops are now rationing products like toilet roll, pasta and hand sanitizer as attempts to bulk buy continues. Empty shelves at this shop in Fareham show how little stock is left. Sporting events are also under threat. Could we see games at St Mary's and other Premier League grounds played behind closed doors or cancelled altogether? So what would happen if the UK was to go into lockdown? Well, a UK coronavirus lockdown would be voluntary at this moment in time, with residents being asked to stay at home or stay away from public places. But worst case scenario could mean police enforcement and also help of the army. The UK could lose up to £500 million in London if there was a lockdown. However, emergency planning authorities have said that that is unlikely, but that could all change tomorrow. This is Annabel Mali for Solent Journalism.
Meanwhile, the number of cases continues to rise, but what is the situation in our region? How many people actually have the virus and what can we do to protect ourselves? Beth Lawrence has been looking at the figures. Beth.
Thanks, Mir. So yesterday saw the biggest daily rise in coronavirus figures so far. There are now 460 confirmed cases in the UK, and so far 8 people have died. However, statistics reveal that in this time, 27,000 people have tested negative for the virus. But how do these numbers break down, and who is most likely to be affected? Well, Hampshire is our worst affected area, with 13 patients being tested positive so far, whilst Brighton and Hove is next with 8. There are 4 cases in Wiltshire and 3 cases each in the county of West Sussex and town of Bournemouth. It is worth mentioning that while surrounding regions are dealing with a handful of patients, Southampton, Portsmouth and Dorset currently have no recorded cases of COVID-19. The elderly or those with impaired health issues such as breathing difficulties or a weakened immune system are most at risk of the illness. Again, while it is serious for these people, most of us will have only mild side effects. So what are the symptoms? Well, you can find out more on the Public Health England website, but it states that fever and tiredness, coughing, breathing difficulties and muscle pain are the main warning signs to look out for. Basic health advice to protect ourselves remains the same. Thorough and regular hand washing with soap, warm water and sanitising gel, catching sneezes with tissues or sleeves and avoiding close contact with those who are unwell. If in doubt, people are able to self-isolate for 2 weeks. The next figures are due out at 2 p.m. today.
Thanks, Beth. In other news, the rate of pregnancy for those under 18 years old in Southampton has declined substantially by a third over the past year. The number of births to teenage moms dropped from 87 to 57. A similar decrease has occurred locally in under 16 consumption rate. Southampton City Council has launched its Green City Plan for 2030, setting out an ambitious vision for a greener, healthier and more sustainable city. The plan outlines how people will contribute to tackling some of the most challenging environmental issues in the city. It includes more than 60 specific actions which we will undertake to deliver. This outlines the progress that has already been made and now our ongoing progress will be measured. The number of people sleeping rough in Southampton has halved in space of a year. According to figures from Southampton City Council, a total of 15 rough sleepers were located during the annual autumn count carried by the Council Street's homeless prevention team. It showed a drop from 29 homeless people on the same night of the previous year.
Latest figures in Southampton reveal that homelessness has decreased by half. 15 rough sleepers were located on the annual spot check. 29 rough sleepers were found the year before. The councils do annual spot checks every year as a way of keeping track of the homelessness issues in each city. Government funding has given Southampton City Council over £900,000 to help support and help tackle the homelessness situation in the city. This funding will go towards specialist healthcare for those that don't actually have access. It will help support and provide one-to-one sessions for those with specialist needs. A statement from Sativa Kar, Cabinet Member for the Homes and Culture, said, "In order to truly eradicate and reduce rough sleeping, we need to deal with the root and causes of it. This includes insecure tendencies in the private rented sector, which contributes to the majority of those at risk of becoming homeless." This is Keely-Ann for Solent Journalism.
Sport now. But what does the coronavirus mean for football? Well, Southampton face Norwich this Saturday, and as it stands, the game is set to go ahead. Although that still could change, as many recent fixtures have seen postponement and fixtures played behind closed doors. Ralph Hasenhüttl will face the media at 1:30 this afternoon, with his side looking to get back to winning ways in the league. And an art cafe in the centre of Southampton has been saved from closure by the generosity of its customers. The art house in Southampton was facing having to shut down last month, but an online appeal to raise the £25,000 needed has been successful. Earlier, our reporter Joshua Ballet sent us this report.
I'm here outside of the much-loved art cafe in Southampton city centre with good news. During the last week, they hit their £25,000 fundraiser goal to keep their doors open for the foreseeable future. They have recently announced that the £25,000 might not be enough to keep them going for the long haul. As a result of this, they've kept their donation page up and running, so feel free to donate and support the local business. This has been Joshua Blay for Solent Journalism.
That's all from us for now. You can find all our stories and more online at solentjournalism.co.uk. We are back with a special coronavirus update at 3:45. Have a nice afternoon.